Hey, Shalom, Akim Shalom. First and foremost, as always, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Hakwadash. Once again, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Hakwadash. I would like to give double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone that has taught us this truth and that's still out teaching this truth. And much peace, love, and salutation to the elect of Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai, that's pushing this word with all truth and sincerity. I'm the brother Tazamah from the Great Millstone Dallas camp, coming back today with another lesson, and Lord willing, this lesson will be edifying and to the point. And as you know, whenever we see updates on the MOTB, all right, which is the CHIP written about, and the prophecy, I rather say, written about in Revelation, the 13th chapter, the 16th verse. All right, we report on these things as we're to do, as being watchmen. All right, the scripture says that the Lord has made us watchmen unto the house of Israel. Okay, and with us being watchmen, we have to report on these things that we see, because this is a major prophecy that's going to come to pass in these last days. And when we see this thing get pushed, worldwide, and on a more drastic scale, that's how we know that Yahweh Shai is that much closer to his return. All right, we look at the signs and we look at the prophecies and the times that we're in. So no, we measure the times by the scriptures, by reading the prophecies, man. All right, so as you see here, it says Biden's cash-free central bank digital currency, or Cbdc, coming this December. All right, now, will we see this implement is soon to be seen. But us being in the year of 2022, all right, the year of Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai Ba'Shem Hakwadash turning up, I wouldn't be surprised. All right, I wouldn't be surprised if, Lord's will, Lord willing, the salvation comes next year, man. We hope so, man. We hasten the day. Okay. It says President Biden is set to roll out a cash-free system this December via a newly formed central bank digital currency, as I said, Cbdc. All right. And let's actually just look at this. It says Executive Order 14067, signed by Biden, gives the elites the power to create Cbdc's, distribute them at will, steal them from you whenever they want, and shut it off if you do something they don't approve of. Okay? And with them shutting off shutting off your Cbdc, your central bank digital currency, that's literally them cutting you off the grid. As the scripture says, Revelation 13 and 16. All right, let's just get it real quick here, because they want this for total control. Okay, they want this for total control. All right, and this is the part of the whole NWO system. All right, this is Revelation 13 verse 16, and he calls it all. See, he's going to cause you to do it. As you see here in the NLT, he required everyone. Okay, it's going to be a requirement, and with this requirement, it's also going to be punishable by way of death if you don't take it, right? And he calls it all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a MARK in their right hand or in their foreheads. And this is a device. This is a physical thing. Okay, this isn't talking about Christianity. All right, it's not talking about an embargo or a tax. No, they're changing the way goods and services are going to be purchased, given, and moved. Okay, that's why you see a collapse of this current fiat cash system that we live in right now. Okay, that's why it's a systematic collapse. You clearly see them collapsing the system internally, and it's all done on purpose. Okay, it's all done on purpose. This isn't just no thing that's happening by accident, and they just can't get a grip on the system, and we don't know. No, they know exactly what they're doing. All right. It says that no man might buy or sell, and the way that you buy and sell is with currency. Okay, the way that you buy and sell is with currency. All right. It says that no man might buy or sell save he that had the MARK. And the charagma, okay, or the name of the beast, or the number of his name. All right, complete allegiance to this beast system. Okay, So it says Executive Order 14067 signed by Biden gives the elites the power to create CBDCs, distribute them at will, steal them from you whenever they want, and shut it off if you do something they don't approve of. You see, just as the time of Daniel and the time where the image was erected, what happened? Whenever you heard the sound of the dulcimer and the pipes and the cornet and the flutes going off, you had to go down, you had to bow down to the image of the statue. And if you didn't, you'll be thrown into a fiery furnace. And what did Daniel do? Daniel did not bow to the image. All right, which is a prelude to the things to come. Now they're gonna literally make you get on your knees and bow down to the Karagama. No, but bowing down and worshiping the image goes into a sense of your conduct or your action towards it. Okay. Now this is a little bit of the executive order here. March 9th, 2022. Let's just go down here to the point. It says policy. Advances in digital and distributed ledger, what's ledger? Money, technology for financial services have led to dramatic growth in markets for digital assets, with profound implications for the protection of consumers, investors, and businesses, including data privacy and security. See, they make it sound as if it's going to protect you. It's going to protect your data. It's going to be more secure for consumers, investors, and businesses. You don't want your information getting stolen. This is what you can do. You see, you don't want your you want to make sure that your funds are in a secure and safe ledger or a secure and safe wallet. Well, this is what we're implementing here. You see, this is what they plan on doing, and you clearly see it, man. So for all you camps that scoffed at the MOTB, that made jokes about it, well, where you at now? Where's all your scoffing at now? When you see that this technology is being pushed, right? It says financial stability and systematic risk, crime, national security. So this is all they was talking about, a new digital currency, but how is this going to national security, crime, the ability to exercise human rights, financial inclusion and equity. See, equity with the financial system is everybody's going to be on one equal playing field. You see, and energy demand and climate change, and they're using, natural, so-called green energy. I had a dream the other night. I'm trying to remember what it was, but I had a dream. Man, it's the Lord bringing it back to my remembrance. You know what I'm saying? Call hello, Yahweh, Bashem, Yahushai. I had a dream that they implemented the carbon footprint. It was just a glimpse. Like I said, I can't fully remember it, but this is actually recently. It says in November 2021, non-state issued digital assets reached a combined market capitalization of $3 trillion. All right, and that's enough that we're going to read from here, because I just want to hit the main points. All right, well, let's go back here. AmericaFirstReport.com reports. Famous author of the book Rich Dad, Poor Dad, Robert Kiyosaki, has called the executive order communism in purest form. And now, what is communism? Let's look up this definition of communism so we can get an understanding of what it means. It says communism, collectivism. It says a political theory derived from Karl Marx. Go here. A political theory derived from Karl Marx, advocating class war and leading to a society in which all property is publicly owned and each person works and is paid according to their abilities and needs. So pretty much everybody's on a so-called level playing field in a sense, right? It says encouraging Americans to stay awake, which, a majority of these people ain't awake, man. As the scripture says, that these people are in a deep sleep. That's why the scripture says in Romans, the 13th chapter, the 11th verse, it says, it tells us to wake up, for our salvation is more near than when we believe. Okay? Let's get that real quick. But a majority of our people ain't gonna wake up. Romans 13:11, it says, in that, knowing the time, that now it is high time to awake out of sleep. See, now it is a high time to awake out of that lethargic, hypnotized state of mind. It says, for now is our salvation nearer than when we believed. You see, our salvation, which salvation is going to come by way to the Israelites, all right, through Yahushua, which that's what his name means, all right. He's much more near to come. And like I mentioned earlier in this lesson, all right, when you see that the MOTB is being fully implemented on a global scale, and the transition of the financial system goes from physical to digital, all right, that's how we know what time we in. Okay, that's how we know what time we in. It says, but this is beyond communism. This is permanent and overt slavery, and that's ultimately what they want. Okay, they don't want you to have a voice. They don't want you to have no rights. That's why the WEF, and you got my man Santa Claus. I'm gonna say that Santa Claus. Say his name. You mess around and get something on your page anyway. Salakia. But he said what? You will own nothing and you will be happy. That's why they're slowly but surely, daily taking away your so-called rights, your so-called right to your bear arms, your so-called right of free speech, your right of due trial and things like that, man. I got my First Amendment right. They don't, man. That's just nothing but pieces of paper. They doing away with that. Okay, they're scrapping that, and they want a new system. Okay, where the Constitution and the amendments not going to be the way that it used to be, so called. You see, it says they are no longer hiding it. Right, we are not free, and they intend to make it permanent. See, perpetual slaves. It will behoove everyone to listen up and stand together to oppose this and refuse to participate. And you are going to have individuals and groups of people in different factions, if you will, that are going to so-called band together against this NWO system. You already have it happening now, but it's going to happen on a larger scale, and that's going to be Second Ezra's the 15th chapter. Okay, let's actually just pull it real quick because I quoted it. Let's just pull it. Okay. Second Ezra's 15 and 16. It says, for there shall be sedition among men and evading one another. Because when this new system rolls out, it's not going to be just a smooth transition. You're not going to have just people, your daily life going to be going all normal. Everything's just going to be normal as it is. Hey guys, want to let you guys know we're going to be rolling out the Cbdc'S. It's going to be the CHIP, but everything's still, no, it's going to be complete chaos happening on the planet Earth, man. It's going to be complete chaos taking place on these streets, man. I'm talking about famines, It's going to be class wars taking place, man. It's going to be a lack of resources on a large scale. It's going to be, and they want order out of chaos, and they're going to be the ones that's going to be creating the chaos. They're going to be the ones creating it. So they're going to tell you, look, with all this stuff going on, this is what we're going to do. This is going to be the new way, and it's going to pretty much cripple people to their knees and make them buckle to do it. That's why the elect remnant of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua is so important. That's why the Lord said, what? I have reserved unto me 7,000 men that have not bowed to the image of Baal. Okay? It says, they shall not regard their kings nor princes, and the course of their actions shall stand in their power. It's going to be complete anarchy taking place, man. Which, like I said, it's going to all be systematically set up. Okay? It says choosing the CBDC is literally choosing to be a slave, and that's what they want. Before we were lied to and propaganda was used to make sure we thought, before we were lied to and propaganda was used to make sure we thought we were free. And that goes back to Revelation, the 13th chapter, man. He had two horns like a lamb, but he spake as a dragon. Okay, because all this is going to do is going to lead to more draconian laws, man. Revelation 13, verse 11. And I beheld another beast coming up out of the earth. And he had two horns like a lamb, and he spake as a dragon. Okay, and this other beast is what you see going on today. You got NATO in the EU. Okay, those different EU countries that are in league with these different NATO countries, and America being the whore that rides upon the beast, which spearheads this system. Okay, so you got the two political parties, the Republicans and the Democrats, and they tell you what you want to hear on this side. And they're literally, it's showing you that there's a division. You got two opposing sides that agree with two. They all are in accordance with each other behind closed doors. But on the outside, it looks like there are two different views. You see? But it says, and he spake as a dragon, because at the end of the day, it's going to be a one government. It ain't going to be no two opposing sides. It's going to be one. It's going to be one. And you ain't going to be able to have no thought about what the hell you want to do or what the hell you want to say. Okay? And that's why you have something called Operation Mockingbird, which is pretty much an operation used, all right, to pretty much show forth and propagandize, you know, a certain mode of thinking. You know, and they show forth it on the news. That's why you got these different news stations that all, and it's all scripted. They all say the same thing. They all say the same thing. All right. The illusion of freedom will continue as long as it's profitable to continue to continue the illusion. Let's read this again. The illusion of freedom, which is all this is just an illusion at the end of the day. It's all witchcraft and sorcery. The illusion of freedom will continue as long as it's profitable to continue the illusion. As long as the illusion and the witchcraft is profitable to the elite, they'll continue it. But once the skirt is being lifted and the things are being seen, what are they going to resort to? They'll resort to the sword, which is getting ready to happen. Kiyosaki called President JB's signed executive order the most treasonous act in U.S. history, and he isn't the only one speaking out against it. Jim Rickards, another economist, investor, and former CIA official, was calling it a step toward the end of cash. You see that? And this is all being laid to the forefront of being openly spoken about. Okay? Rickards has 4 decades of experience on Wall Street. The new digital tokens can be turned off if the government doesn't like what you are doing. And that lines up, at if they didn't worship the image of the beast, they will be killed. Let me get that real quick. Here it is. This is Revelation 13:15. And he had power to give life unto the image of the beast, which the image of the beast is what you see. All right, the image of the beast is literally what you're looking at as you look around. You got the infrastructure that's part of the image of the beast. You got the laws that are part of the image of the beast. All this goes back to Rome. Okay? That's the image of the beast. The image of the beast just isn't the image of Jesus Christ, as you got some particular camps like the IUIC says, right? That the image of the beast should both speak and cause that the image of the beast should both speak and cause that as many as would not worship the image of the beast should be killed. So if you don't worship this image, this way, and this system of life, eventually you're going to be killed. Now, when you get this word killed, that word is Salakia. That word is apaktino. It says to kill in any way, whatever, to destroy, to allow to perish. Metaphorically, to extinguish. You will be extinguished, or you will be abolished. Your rights and your so-called mode of thinking is abolished. To inflict mortal death. You see? Guillotines, firing squads. All these things are going to be implemented. Now, when you get the root word, it says of separation. You see that? Of local separation. You see? It says after verbs of motion from a place, of departing, of fleeing. So we're going to have to flee. You see, because you will be separated and ostracized from society if you don't worship this image. If you don't worship this way, you will be separated. They will completely cut you off from the system. They will cut you off from the grid. That's why we're gonna have to rely wholly upon Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua, and our faith in the Lord is gonna have to be big time. Our faith in Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua is gonna have to be big time. That's why the Lord said, when he comes, shall he find faith on the earth. You see? Let's go back. It says, let's go down here. It says, be ready, because this is the slavery we have been warning is coming. Not that we aren't slaves now, but this is the complete abandonment of the illusion. You see, this whole American dream, this whole illusion of this whole Disneyland experience, this whole, you know what I'm saying, bubblehead land, where everybody's connected to the boob tube. Everybody's just mouth all open, don't know what the hell is going on. The illusion is done. You see, it says prepare for C-Day, which is coming on December 13th of this year. And we'll be on the lookout for that. December 13th of this year, we'll be on the lookout. Okay. Rickers criticized CBDC and labeled it as Bitcoin's evil cousin. He also exposed a supposed singular event called C-Day, which according to him will take place on December 13th, 2022, and will disrupt the traditional financial systems in the U.S. Like I said, we'll see. And we hope that this happens, man. We hope that this takes place, because we understand and know, according to prophecy, that this is a step closer to salvation. He said when what he calls C-Day happens, paper money will be worthless and the U.S. dollar would crash. That's going to be that, and the crash is imminent. There will be a crash. There will be a crash of this current economic system. Why? Because the inflation bubble is getting ready to pop. Okay, you're going to see you will see hyper inflation at that point. Whereas you'll see what happened in the Weimar Republic, you'll see that happen over here times 10. Okay. It says he further added that consumer spending and access to basic needs would also be restricted. You're going to have restrictions of things that you need. There's going to be a rationing. Okay. Talks about that in Ezekiel, the 4th chapter. It says, and people holding too much money will be penalized. Oh, you got too much money in your bank account, player. We're going to need some of that. We're going to have major bank runs. But the dollar is going to be obsolete. It says, thanks to Section 4 of Biden's Executive Order 14067, calling for urgent research into developing the digital dollar, I believe the U.S. dollar, the standard of the world since 1792, will be replaced by a new currency, the digital dollar, Rickard said. But this has been in the works for a long time, which is true. This has been in the works for a minute. This isn't something that's new. I mean, look on the back of your dollar bill. You clearly see the New World Order written on the back of it. Novus Ordo Seclorum. Got the pyramid with the eye on there. They're literally showing you what it is on their actual dollar, telling you what it is. Right? It's all a part of the plan. They even tried to desensitize the world to this during the thing, scamdemic, claiming that the thing spread on coins and cash. Exactly. We gotta watch the handling of our money, because it could have the thing on there. Now they got the new scare with the jungle bumps. Now they're gonna tell you that can be spread on cash now too. Man, this is a good article. It says this literally is good for no one except those who create the currency and want power over everyone else. That's why Meyer Amschel Rothschild said what? I believe it was him. Give me control of the nation's currency. I care not who makes the laws. Yep, here it is right here. Give me control of a nation's money supply, and I care not who makes its laws. So said Meyer Amschel Rothschild, founder of the Rothschild banking dynasty. You see that? So at the end of the day, who's controlling the money is the one that's in power. Who controls the resources is the one that's in power. I call the digital dollar Biden bucks because I want him to take full credit for what I consider to be crimes, says Rickards. And did not Joe Biden come out back some years ago and say what? He said, you will rule on this for a digital tag. He said that he will rule on that. This is not like the money in your online banking account. No, this is new and different. You see, so it ain't like you just got your Chase banking account and you got just digital dollars just sitting there and you can move it around. No, it's gonna be a whole new system, that tracks everything that you do, How much carbon you're consuming on a daily basis. You know, how much of this you're consuming, how much of that and if you consume too much, nope. You try to buy this, nope. You done reached your limit. E-nuts. Oh boy, that would suck. It says this dollar, every digital dollar will be a programmable token like Bitcoin or other cryptocurrencies. But there's a big difference. Cryptocurrencies are decentralized digital currencies, right? They're decentralized. They're not operated by a central bank, right? Instead, if it plays out the way I see it, Biden bucks will have the full backing of the U.S. Federal Reserve, who runs the Federal Reserve? The Rothschild and the Rockefeller banking family, these elite banking families. See? They will replace the cash fiat dollar we have now and will soon be the sole mandatory currency of the United States. If you haven't realized that government is slavery yet, it is probably a good time to get on the right side of history. This new CBDC will begin an era of total government control and surveillance, Rickard stated, according to the WND. This is not hyperbole. This is actually what they want to do. This would dramatically expand the power and influence of the federal government, essentially acting as a new type of spyware. See, that's why the RFID CHIP, it will be able to track you. And there's already laws in place that has particular thing passes. I'm just going to say that thing passes on it that has your passport information, your documents, your social security information, your jump shot juice verification. Why do you think they have all this information set up? They already have it in place. With Biden bucks, the government will be able to force you to comply with its agenda, because if you don't, they could turn off your money. And when you can't eat, and you can't get the natural things that you need, your resources, watch out. 2 Ezra 15 talks about that for the lack of bread. Okay? This won't be like freezing a bank account. It will be so much easier. It shut you off. So that's mainly it. So look, hey, be on the lookout for this, man. December 13th, C-Day. That's all right. So Lord's willing, this was edifying. I'm going to give all praises to Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai Ba'Shem Mechakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone, and much peace, love, and salutation to the elect. Shalom.